That night, London was crying. Her name flashed on my phone after months of silence. When I answered, her voice trembled. Aiden, I'm pregnant, and before I could speak, she whispered, don't worry, you don't have to be part of this. Then the line went dead, and so did the world I thought I knew. 2 years earlier, life had been much simpler. I met Hannah in a small cafe in London, her laughter spilling into the air like sunlight through clouds. She was from Pakistan studying psychology, an innocent soul with curious eyes and a heart that believed love could fix anything. I was an artist who painted what I couldn't say. She walked up to me once as I painted by the cafe window and asked, are you really this sad or just pretending for the art? I laughed, maybe for the first time in months, and that laugh was the beginning of everything. From that day, she became my favorite part of London. We spent evenings walking by the Thames, talking about everything and nothing. She told me about her mother's tea, about missing home, about how she believed, people who truly love you always find their way back. I didn't know then how much those words would mean. Her innocence was magnetic. The way she smiled, the way she'd tilt her head when thinking, as if listening to the universe itself. Slowly, she became my muse. Every painting I made carried a hint of her smile, her eyes, her warmth. Then came success. My paintings caught attention, and I was invited to New York for a grand exhibition, the dream I'd been chasing for years. Hannah smiled and told me to go. She said she was proud of me, but I saw the flicker of fear in her eyes. I'll be waiting, she whispered as I boarded the plane. But time has a cruel way of changing people. Calls became shorter, messages rarer, until silence became our only language. When Hannah found out she was pregnant, she didn't cry. Not at first. She simply stared at the test in her hand, whispering, Aiden, we did it. But I wasn't there to hear her. She wanted to tell me, but I was far away, lost in fame, interviews, and parties that meant nothing. So she wrote me a letter filled with love, fear, and hope. A letter she never sent. When I finally returned to London, Hannah looked different, thinner, quieter, like someone who had learned to hide pain behind silence. I didn't notice. Or maybe I didn't want to. That evening, rain poured endlessly as she stood by my door, a folded letter in her trembling hand. Before she could speak, I said the words that would haunt me forever. Hannah, I think we need some space. You deserve someone better. Her lips trembled, but she didn't argue. She just smiled, that same fragile smile, then whispered, maybe you're right. Then she walked away. And with her went the only peace I ever knew. Months later, Hannah gave birth to a baby boy. She named him Noor, light, because he was the only brightness left in her world. She never called me. She never asked for help. She just lived quietly, bravely, nursing the child who carried half of me within him. Sometimes she'd whisper to him, your father was a good man. Maybe one day you'll meet him. But that day never came. 5 years passed. One morning I received a letter in the mail. Old, folded, worn by time. No sender's name, just my address. I recognized the handwriting instantly. It was hers. The letter had been found among her things. After she was gone, inside she'd written, you once said my eyes were your home. Now you don't live here anymore, but your son does. My hands shook. Tears blurred the ink until her words disappeared into stains. For the first time in years, I realized she never stopped loving me. Years later, at my London gallery, one painting hung alone. A woman standing in the rain, holding a baby, smiling through her tears. Below it, a note read, for Hannah and Noor, my forever light. People often stood before it, silent, moved, without knowing that it wasn't just art, it was my confession. Love doesn't always end with hate. Sometimes it ends with silence, with letters never sent and words never spoken. But true love never really dies. It just lives in memory, in art, and in the hearts of those who loved too deeply to forget. The letter she never sent, a love story that never ended, just faded into forever.